Hey guys, it's Reese, welcome back. So, this will be the official video. Sorry, I was trying to resume that video after doing something else really quickly and wasn't able to. Anyways, back to the video. So, these will be the pre-season Toy Car Hockey team interviews for all teams, all 8 of them. Alright, so let's get to it. First up, we're going to be interviewing NASCAR. They're slightly new team because this one, and this one have been on their team since last season. He's been their goalie for I don't know how many seasons of Toy Car Hockey now for NASCAR's Toy Car Hockey team. Anyways, besides that, let's get the Toy Car Hockey interview started with their team. Doesn't really matter who I choose firstly. Starting off with a new car for their team. How does it feel to play on their team? Feels really good and all of that stuff. Now for the team interview. Take us through what you expect to happen this year. Well, we're not quite sure, but hopefully it's a good season. Hopefully all the teams do well. Had a chance to win the finals last season, couldn't do it because we ended up facing USA, and they're really good in Toy Car Hockey. So, yep, well, hopefully, also with the new rule for this season and future seasons of Toy Car Hockey, of the Toy Car Hockey teams trading players in effect now, it'll be interesting to see how the season goes for each team, actually. So that'll be really interesting and special. Well, that's it for NASCAR. Let's interview another team. Another team who, oh, and actually NASCAR had a chance to win the finals not last season, but 2 seasons ago. Italy, who went undefeated last season, has some slight changes in their team. Lost to UK in the semifinals, and probably has something to maybe possibly say about that. And Italy's like, well, yep, I mean, when you play a really good team, it's, hard to tell who's going to come out on top, but, UK with having some really great players, it's hard to tell who's going to win that series in the semifinals of Toy Car Hockey last season. And, we're not disappointed we didn't make the finals, but you gotta take each new season as a new opportunity, because you don't know what to expect each season. You don't know who's going to be good and who's going to be not as good. And that's why, at the end of the season, there's a wildcard game before the semifinals start. If there was no wildcard game, well, that wouldn't really make sense, because then it would just be the 4 best teams only left for Toy Car Hockey. And we are now interviewing this Alfa Romeo race car, the Hot Wheels Alfa Romeo GT V6 3.0, new Hot Wheels car, and it's just actually starting Toy Car Hockey this season for its first season ever. How is it going to feel playing for a team who had a chance to go to the finals last season but lost to a team who you as a player for your team hasn't played against yet because it's only your first season? Well, to be honest, I can't really say much about that. Wasn't on the team last season. I hope they could have done better last season. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, like my team said, it's very unknown of who's going to be better this season in Toy Car Hockey or not. We don't even know if that team, UK, will be as good as they were last season because they have made some slight changes, just like we have too for our team. So yeah, it'll be fun, interesting, exciting. Always got to watch out for USA. Don't know what it is in them, but every time they have a new team, they're just really hard to beat. Kind of occasionally similar to NASCAR, but sometimes NASCAR doesn't do as well at times, but it's an unknown. You don't know who's going to be the best until the season gets near the playoffs, that is. Or is at the playoff stage, the first stage, the wild card game. So, yeah. Sweden. This team, Sweden, I think, 2 or 3 seasons ago, was undefeated, but then ended up losing to some team, I don't know if it was USA or NASCAR, but whatever team they lost to 2 or 3 seasons ago couldn't beat in the semifinals, I believe it was, and that team ended up going to the finals and probably was the winner of Troika Hockey finals for the Troika Hockey season champs that season. Anyways, what are your thoughts on this new season and all the new changes happening with trading players allowed for Troika Hockey for the first time ever for the teams? Well, it's really fun and exciting. Hopefully we can do better. And I know we have only won Troika Hockey like once or twice for season champs, and that's it. But it's a new season, so you gotta take each season and each game one at a time, and just try to play your best all the time. You also want to think of every regular Troika Hockey season game as possibly, in a way, sort of like a playoff game, but don't take it too seriously like a playoff game because if you do that, then all those wins just go by your team, and you may or may not perform as well. And I think that was well said from Sweden's Troika hockey team. Next up is Germany. Alright, so Germany, it's a slightly much newer team this time around. Not many cars carrying over from your team last season, except for 1 or 2, I believe. So, take us through what you think will happen this season. Well, every game is, completely unknown. You don't really know your opponents and like how well they'll play because, given the fact that teams have new players each season, and this season with trading being allowed, it's hard to tell like, what teams will make what trades to make their teams better or worse because you don't know if those players after the trades in Troika Hockey this season will make your team better or worse. So that'll be fun. I don't know if we've ever been to the Troika Hockey Finals or not. If we did, we can't remember how many seasons ago that was, but if we've probably been to the Troika Hockey Finals, we've only won it like maybe once, and that's probably it. I do recall that a few times there was like 1 or 2 Troika Hockey Finals where the USA was never actually in them, possibly more than 2, but we're not quite sure because again that was so many seasons ago, and with our team having so many new players, we're not sure when that happened because some of our players didn't know that at that time because some of them are much newer than others. And given the fact that, well, all the players on this team are much newer than others, we really don't know when that would have happened anyways, so yeah. But, it'll be interesting. Can USA hold up to their reputation of being probably one of the top 2 best teams in Troika hockey, or will they fall? We don't know. It's an unknown. They are normally hard to beat, but we'll see what happens. Japan's up next. Japan having a pretty big team change, except for one car, their goalie last season. So, yeah, take us through what you expect Troika hockey to be this season. Well, every game's going to be different. All opponents will be different. You just got to play each game really good into your team's best, strengths and everything. Got to watch out for injuries and stuff. Also, substitutions, subbing out players during times if need be. Penalties, we don't know how often they will happen in games and how many they'll be this season, and hopefully there'll be less penalties or injuries compared to other seasons, because other previous seasons of Troika hockey may or may not have had more or less penalties or injuries per game. Also, with injuries happening, you gotta bring in a new player who hasn't played Troika hockey to your team, so that makes it very challenging and difficult because you don't know if that player, or if there's multiple injuries, players will make your team better or worse throughout the season. So yeah. This is probably going to be the most interesting team to interview, South Korea. So take us through what you expect for Troika hockey this season. Well, each season's different and unique. That preseason shootout tournament doesn't really mean much, to be honest. Doesn't matter who wins that tournament at all, we think, because it's like, after that, you can't really expect one player to carry a team all the way to the Troika Hockey Finals and be the season champs of Troika Hockey that season. So it's hard to tell if that player will really help their team or not. But sometimes I feel like teams are, may have more encouraging words to say after each win or loss of a Troika hockey game, whether it's the regular season games or playoff games. It's really hard to tell. But, you know, you just gotta regroup, focus on each game, one game at a time, and just take it from there, because each game's a new opportunity to see who wins and loses, and, you know, if you don't make it to the finals, well, there's always next season to try and do that. Each season's a new possibility for any team to make it there, and we don't know who it will be. So, yeah. UK, who had a chance to win but lost to the USA in the finals last season, will be interviewed now. Take us through what you expect. Well, each season's going to be really difficult. You never know who's going to come out on top. We were lucky enough to get by everyone last season, make it to the finals, lost to the USA. But with them having a new team, it's going to be hard to tell if they'll make a run for the finals again this season or not. And we may or may not see possibly more in same division showdown for Troika Hockey this season. It's very unknown, because we don't know what opponent we'll be playing, and yeah, we'll all just really excited for this season to start, and we'll see what happens. And you know, hopefully there's way less injuries, because you know, you don't want players to get injured, because if it's one of your better players, you don't really want them taken out of your team, but they have to rest and recover somehow, some way, and if they don't, well, they may start hurting your team's chances of going to the Toy Car Hockey Finals each season. But, you know, with each new season happening, you may or may not be playing on your team anymore with that new trading rule for Toy Car Hockey starting this season for the teams. And the final team to be interviewed will be the USA, with them having a, well, almost fully new team except for one returning player. USA, take us through what you expect this season of Toy Car Hockey to be after being the season champs 3 or 4 seasons in a row. Well, it feels great coming off another season title win for us being the season champs last season, but yeah, even though we lost 2024 season 1, I believe it was, winning 2024 season 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is 3 seasons in a row, feels great. But you know, having such a big you know, weight or target like that, being the season champ so many seasons in a row, it puts a lot of pressure on a team. So we don't know how well we'll do. With Pontiac from last time's team for the previous season of Toy Car Hockey being on our team this season, we do have one player that hopefully can guide us to the finals again, possibly, but we're not sure if that'll happen, because each other team has new players this season too, and with trading happening, we don't know well we will land in Toy Car Hockey this season come postseason. We don't know if we'll be as good as last season or not. It's hard to tell. It's going to be difficult to figure out how each team plays Toy Car Hockey this season and what their strategies are come after each game, win or lose, that is. Especially whether it's regular season games or postseason playoff games for Toy Car Hockey this season or any season. Well, that's it for this video, and that pretty much showed all the teams and the interviews for the Toy Car Hockey teams this season by one. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your week and weekend.